Bangladesh went from starvation to huge economic growth. It suffered from natural disasters and military coups, but today it has one of the highest economic growth in the world and may soon become the next superpower. We're going to find out how the country fixed its poverty and famine, what industries boosted the economy, what are its current challenges, what it needs to do in the future, and many more. We will also compare its economy with the economies of India and Pakistan. Let's begin. Bangladesh was part of British India, then a part of Pakistan, and it finally gained independence in 1971 after a very violent war. After gaining independence, it was one of the poorest countries in the world. Since then, the country went through military coups, violent protests, and political instability. Bangladesh used to receive large amounts of aid, including food, grants, loans, commodities, and aid for different projects. The main donors are the United States, the United Nations, the European Union, and Japan. However, its dependency on foreign aid constantly decreased. Currently, there are many NGOs in Bangladesh that had a significant role in the development of the economy and people's lives. They helped build schools, ensuring that more children, including the ones in rural areas, have access to education. They also work on reducing poverty, developing rural areas, providing food and clothes, improving the healthcare in the country, and the economic and social status of women who suffer from discrimination. NGOs also played a significant role in disaster management, since there are many floods and cyclones in the country. Bangladesh is the country with the highest population density in the world, if we exclude small countries like Monaco. It has a bigger population than Russia, but its surface is 115 times smaller than Russia's. This means that in Bangladesh there are over 1,000 people per square kilometer. For comparison, the population density in other countries are India 450, Pakistan 300, China 150, Mexico 65, Russia 8. Having such a high population density is good because it helps when it comes to cost efficiency, access to resources, and economic growth, but it's also problematic because more people are fighting over fewer resources and more issues arise related to natural environment, pollution, overcrowding, and traffic congestion. In the 80s and 90s, the Bangladeshi government introduced economic reforms and updated their economic policies. These reforms were supported by institutions like the IMF and the NGOs in order to increase market competition and improve the economic situation. The new policies opened up the economy and encouraged foreign investment in the country. Clothing is the main industry that boosted the economy in Bangladesh. Many foreign companies invested in the clothing industry, and many Bangladeshi citizens have set up their own factories. In order to understand how important the clothing industry is in Bangladesh, you need to know that it is responsible for about 80% of the country's exports, and this country is the second biggest exporter of clothes in the world, surpassed only by China. Most of the exports are going to the United States, Germany, and the United Kingdom. Most of the people working in the clothing industry are women. This played a crucial role in improving the social and economic situation of women in the country who are still suffering from gender-based discrimination, although there have been improvements regarding this issue. Bangladesh is very suitable for the clothing industry because of the high population and the relatively low cost of building the factories, buying the land, and paying the salaries. The country also has other important industries such as agriculture, engineering, telecommunications, shipbuilding, pharmaceuticals, steel, and electronics. And there are plenty of jobs in the country, having an unemployment rate of just 4%. The GDP per capita increased from $128 in 1971 to $552 in 2007, and then in just 15 years it increased to $2,688 in 2022, surpassing Pakistan in 2016 and India in 2019. To grow the economy almost 5 times in just 15 years is truly an achievement and something that most countries can only dream of. The population has grown from 68 million in 1971 to 171 million in 2022, and it is expected to keep growing, having a population growth rate of about 1% every year, which is a lot considering that the country already has a high population and it still has many economic challenges. Life in general has improved in Bangladesh. Child mortality rate decreased from 212 per 1,000 live births in 1971 to 23 per 1,000 live births in 2021. Adult literacy rates increased from 29% in 1981 to 75% in 2020. The Human Development Index increased from 0.33 in 1980 to 0.66 in 2021, being similar to countries like Nicaragua and Tuvalu. Poverty rates, according to some indicators, decreased from 37% in 1983 to 9% in 2022. The country has improved a lot, but it still has many issues that it needs to fix. The percentage of the urban population in Bangladesh increased from 8% in 1971 to 40% in 2022, and the total population is also growing, which makes it difficult for the government to build the necessary infrastructure. Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh, is one of the most polluted cities in the world. Corruption is also a big problem in the country. According to the Corruption Perception Index, the country has a score of just 26 out of 100, and it ranks 147 out of 180 countries in 2021, which means that it is more corrupt than most countries in the world. The garment factories suffer from overcrowding, and there have even been deaths due to safety issues. It's also not that simple to do business in the country, ranking just 168 out of 190 countries on the Ease of Doing Business Index. While the country definitely still has many problems, let's keep in mind that it has taken many important steps in the right direction. Now let's compare Bangladesh with India and Pakistan. Bangladesh currently has the biggest GDP per capita, followed by India. India has the biggest population, followed by Pakistan. India also has the highest GDP, followed by Bangladesh. Bangladesh has the best result on the Human Development Index, followed by India. India is the least corrupt country according to the Corruption Perception Index, followed by Pakistan. And the World Happiness Report says that Bangladesh is the happiest country on our list, followed by Pakistan. Bangladesh is a fascinating country that has overcome many challenges and has greatly improved its economy and the lives of its citizens. In order to keep growing, it needs to tackle its issues with corruption, and it needs to invest more in education and to diversify its economy. Let me know in the comments what you think about Bangladesh. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and consider sharing this video if you learned something.